seemed to take issue with the fact that he may have had special treatment. She asked the state's attorney, why didn't you mention he's never had a valid license? She asked the defendant and the defense attorney, why was he allowed to attend his pre-sentencing investigation within...
Tank, what happened? Why you in the wheelchair?
It should happen all the time. Should be happening. Hey, I'm all right.
Wait, no. We got that fight coming up. You gotta beat it, bro.
We got a fight coming up.
He's talking to me, dog.
You gotta beat it, bro.
Bro, Tank's talking to me.
He ain't talking to you.
He's talking to me right now, dog. Sam's talking.
It all started at Miami International Airport, a moment no one saw coming. A full-blown brawl erupted when Gervonta Tank Davis sucker punched Jake Paul. But that was only the beginning. Days later, outside a courthouse, Jake delivered a stinging open-handed slap that landed square across Tank's face. And that slap, it wasn't just personal, it was symbolic. It lit the fuse for what's now shaping up to be the biggest crossover rivalry boxing has seen in. Here's So How did we get here? Let's break down how a viral moment exploded into a November mega fight between Tank and Jake.
Here's the beef between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is an amazing boxer who is trained by Floyd Mayweather and has a great record. Jake Paul recently put Gervonta Davis on his hit list and saying he wants to box him soon. Gervonta Davis responded saying, "Jake Paul better leave me alone." Jake Paul responded trolling him and posting this picture calling Gervonta short. He then followed that up by this tweet saying Gervonta is not tall enough to ride the amusement park rides. And lastly, Jake uploaded this tweet of Gervonta jumping into a kiddie pool. It doesn't seem like Gervonta responded to Jake after all this trolling, but the beef is there and I wonder if they will ever fight. Y'all let me know in the comments who you think would win, Gervonta or Jake.
Just a few days ago, the tension was already brewing at Miami International Airport. Tank Davis had just cleared customs, on edge as he met with attorneys over an ongoing federal investigation tied to a raid on his Dubai mansion. That's when Jake Paul showed up and announced,
How extra nice to get that girl off.
What's going on?
What's up, Floyd?
I can have what I want.
What's your name with the camera? Oh, he got camera too. So what you supposed to be? I'm just working, man.
What happened? You're not tough anymore since your loss? What happened since your loss? Yo, we gonna bust him up, guys?
I told you before, put that.
Yo, let's bust him up. Where you running, Jack?
security failed to contain what came next. A war of words quickly spiraled into chaos. Tank lunged, and despite efforts to hold them back, the scuffle went viral within minutes. But the drama didn't end at the terminal. Fast forward to today outside a courthouse, both men once again face to face. Jake stepped forward through a crowd of cameras and fans. The tension was nuclear. Then it happened. Jake Paul's open hand slap echoed through the crowd. It caught Tank clean. He stumbled, and suddenly, the feud was no longer just verbal. Before the scene could fully explode, security swarmed in. Tank was rushed into the courthouse by his team. Jake was pulled back to his vehicle. But the moment, it was already everywhere. Tank's legal team stayed quiet, no statements, no interviews, but sources say they're not ruling anything out. Asterisk.
Can you give us your reaction to the sentence the judge just handed down?
Well, we're not exactly satisfied with a sentence of 90 days home detention. We believe that based on the severity of this incident, it doesn't seem to be much of a penalty to me.
The judge seemed to take issue with the fact that he may have had special treatment.
Now the rumors are flying. Legal action, maybe. But there's a bigger possibility Tank wants the Jake Paul fight sooner. Because let's be honest, this was never just about boxing. It's about pride. It's about dominance. Jake Paul may not be the most skilled boxer alive, but when it comes to mind games, he's undefeated. Asterisk.
We're in discussions with a lot of names: Gervonta Davis, Anthony Joshua, Badu Jack, Ryan Garcia, KSI, Tommy Fury. So there's a lot of people on the hit list, but Badu Jack excites me a lot, and I definitely want to become world champion. So going after Zerto or Badu sounds like a good game plan to me.
If you had your pick of the litter in scale of 1, 2, and 3,
First is Gervonta, second is Anthony Joshua, third Canelo.
And today, he landed his most vicious psychological blow yet. But don't be fooled, Tank isn't backing down. In fact, insiders say today lit a fire in him that no one can put out. Behind the scenes, he's fuming, embarrassed, angry, and more focused than ever. He's pushing for November. He wants Jake, and he wants revenge.
How about Jake? What do you think of Jake?
Clown.
Yeah.
He's a clown.
Would you look at it as a joke if your team was like, yo, we want you to fight Jake Paul? Would you be like, come on, man?
I laugh at him. Like, you want me to fight him?
You think it'll ever come to the point where you're going to mix into, I mean, you're obviously doing the real shit, but will it ever mix into the point where the money's big enough?
Yeah, would
for
you ever
to
do a fight like that?
I feel as though in my career I can't do that right now.
No more talking, no more Twitter beef, no more interviews, just gloves, fists, and whatever happens inside those robes.
Oh, Lord. I'm sorry. I'm just in a silly, goofy mood.
And here's the kicker. It's official. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Jake Paul is confirmed for November. And after what just went down, the stakes are sky high.
We know that Gervonta is going to fight Jake Paul in November. And then we'll see what happens if there's an AJ fight. Be interested to go from Gervonta Davis to Anthony Joshua, but I don't think the Chavez fight is terrible. I think it's a smart bit of business.
What started as a crossover curiosity has become something else entirely. Jake versus Tank was already interesting a YouTuber against a pound-for-pound knockout artist. But now, it's personal. That slap turned a cash grab into a grudge match.
Yeah, no, we're working on it behind the scenes to make that happen, and obviously that's a fight where the fans are gonna win, and it's gonna be the biggest event of the year. We're working on it, but it'd be an exhibition most likely.
Let's break this down. Tank is the reigning knockout king at 135 pounds. He's dominated elite fighters Leo Santa Cruz, Ryan Garcia, Rolando Romero. He's fast, vicious, and surgical with his power shots.
Tank knows better than anyone how suddenly and violently a fight can end. His knockout of Leo Santa Cruz offers a lesson of what not to do against a power puncher.
That definitely was the best knockout. Cause he didn't wake up.
Yeah, he was the only person that didn't know how that fight ended.
Yeah, he felt right there, like damn that out the ring. He just threw the shot 3 times in a row, but it wasn't like on no it wasn't like faint or nothing. He just kept on it. Like, why would you throw it 3 times? Yeah. 1, 2.
But Jake Paul isn't a small man. He walks around at 200 pounds. He shared the ring with Tommy Fury and Mike Tyson. He's taller, heavier, and carries serious power of his own.
Who were you gonna call out? What was the plan originally?
I think he was here. He came in my locker room.
Shakur Stevenson?
He wasn't in my locker room.
Jake Paul?
Next question.
Man, god damn, that's not the Gervonta I know.
Still, Jake lacks Tank's polish, and that's where Tank believes he'll win not with size, but with skill.
After Canelo, obviously, didn't materialize, was the next one Tank?
Yeah. I mean, that was on the 1 yard line as well, but he has to rematch, Lamont Roach. He wants to get that back. And then we'll be back in discussions with Mr. Gervonta. But man, this is the nature of boxing. You have massive fights on the 1 yard line and things just fall through.
As you're watching it, he was a gigantic favorite, and this is on the heels of the Canelo thing. Are you like, what the fuck is going on here?
I don't know, though, because I never really thought Tank was that good. It would just take the right fighter to pick him apart, to be honest. Someone who had high activity and wasn't afraid of his power. So I always saw so many holes in his game. So to me, it wasn't that surprising that someone finally gave him some good work.
If you do fight, what weight would it be at?
195.
Oh, wow. So he would go all the way from 40 to 95?
Yeah, I mean, it would be an exhibition.
Okay. But, and so what does that mean? Is that 3-minute rounds?
Yeah, 10 3-minute rounds.
And when you say exhibition, like, what are the restrictions on that?
No restrictions, just the fact that like we couldn't actually get it professionally sanctioned.
Okay. Is that still of interest to you? Like if he wins the rematch and you beat Julio, is that of great interest to you later this year?
For sure.
Speed, timing, accuracy, those are the weapons Tank brings to the ring. But let's not pretend Jake's still some amateur. He's been training for years. And after his win over Mike Tyson in July, his confidence is through the roof.
Skill for skill, none of these guys can mess with me. Like nobody. Like I feel like my skills is way better than like Floyd. Like if I'm on my game. You feel I take that back. Probably hand in hand. But skill wise, nobody on TV that's fighting right now have more skills than me. Nobody. Like talking about top to bottom list of fighters that's fighting on TV.
Love it or hate it, that win over Tyson proved one thing: Jake Paul can take a punch and deliver one back. Now, he's targeting the most dangerous name in boxing under 140 pounds.
I am looked at by these younger kids as this is all we know.
Done.
As a boxer, he's the best.
Was this already building around the venue, Las Vegas, Saudi Arabia? Either way, it's going to be global. Streaming giants are circling Netflix, DAZN, ESPN. This isn't just a fight anymore, it's an event.
Tank was looking past Roach and he wanted that Jake Paul fight, which I think Jake Paul would have beaten. Jake is way too big. Tank is 5'5", 135, soaking wet. Y'all think Tank is too small for 140. He ain't beating no heavyweight. I'm not joking. I don't think he would have hurt Jake. He would have to jump up to reach him. I don't think he would have hurt him. I tell you this, it would have gone the distance and people would have been laughing their asses off and it wouldn't have been good for Tank's brand. I tell you that. That fight would have went the distance. Soon as 5'5" Tank is looking at a 6'2", 6'3" Jake Paul, y'all would have been like, hold, wait a second. And Jake Paul be on spread out paws with that arm out and stepping back. And bro, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. But that's a cat. Fine. We'll never get to fight anyway. So we'll never know.
No titles on the line. No sanctioning body politics. Just two men with reputations on the line. And one viral slap that made him must watch.
If you do fight, what weight would it be at?
195. It would be an exhibition.
Okay, so it was going to be an exhibition, not sanctioned, but no restrictions. You can knock each other out and shit like that. It was going to be at a catch weight of 195 pounds, 10 rounds, 3 minutes. I've been trying to figure this out. Why was I a Tank hater for wanting to see Tank go up 5 pounds to get some smoke with like Teofimo Lopez or something? I just wanted to see him go up 5 pounds and fight Teofimo Lopez. And all of you were saying, you want Tank hurt, Showbiz. You a hater. You want him hurt. Then I'm convinced, okay, he's too small, but he can fight Jake at 195?
For Tank, this isn't just about Jake Paul anymore. It's about restoring order, shutting down the circus, and reclaiming boxing's respect. He's been under fire lately. A mansion raid in Dubai, legal troubles, tensions with longtime trainer Calvin Ford, and now this public humiliation.
Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super, super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit in boxing?
Beating Jake Paul wouldn't just be a win, it would be redemption. It would silence doubters, trolls, and even critics within the boxing world who think he's lost his edge. But first, he has another storm to walk through: the Lamont Roach rematch.
Something is definitely going on between Calvin Ford and Gervonta Davis. Now, we all seen that knockdown in the 9th round, but what you probably didn't see is what happened after that in between rounds. Check this out. Coach Barry Hunter trained Tank for this fight with Lamont Roach, not Calvin Ford. A lot of people were saying that this performance has something to do with that. So, is something really going on between Calvin Ford and Tank Davis? Check out what Tank had to say.
No, I wasn't really paying attention to the crowd. You know what I mean? I was more so. It's something we gotta work on in the corner, for sure.
Yes, that fight, the one that's personal. The one quietly scheduled for just weeks before the Jake Paul showdown, and the pressure, unbelievable, to wildly different opponents, to different game plans, one slip up, and the whole momentum for November could collapse.
How many rematches have you fought?
0.
What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, it's a good question. It's gonna be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder. If that didn't get me the win, and I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not gonna lie, I have room.
You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears?
100% for a fact. I think he might have some more gears, but I fought the best Gervonta that night. I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter. Hell of an IQ, great punching power, good speed, and a really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that. Don't think because of what I did, y'all think y'all can just go in there and think y'all can have the same night, you know what I'm saying, or do the same thing. He still will go upside your head and crack you, and you know what I'm saying, you might end up on the floor. Everybody not built the same, and that's what people get it messed up. He did a whole lot of things that was good in that fight, a whole lot, and I'm telling you right now, if he wasn't as good of a fighter as he was, that would have been, you know what I'm saying, I would have steamrolled. Don't get that misconstrued. He's still the guy he is. It's just he ran into a guy that's on the same level.
But if Tank dominates, if he walks through Roach like a freight train, then Jake Paul becomes the final boss of a terrifying comeback run.
Lamont, it was like he was there, but he wasn't like there for real. Like when you watch all the other fights, you can see like his eyes just look different. When he walked into the ring with Lamont, it was just like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, because you heard in the press conferences, he was just saying he was just real irritated. He didn't really seem like
he just felt like I think he just trained just to get by. I think he trained to just do 12 rounds. You know what I mean? The Tink that I know, the kid that you punch him in the face, he go crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or if I'm down on the scorecards, I'm gonna go out and go get it. I didn't see it that fight, and I understand it too. When us as fighters, when you get to a certain point in life, sometimes you just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And through all of this madness, from courtroom drama to airport chaos, one man has stepped back into Tank's corner, Floyd Mayweather. Despite years of tension, betrayals, and public fallouts, Floyd is once again siding with the man he once called his protege.
You know something funny? When we was talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th, we was talking, right? But he like, you ain't gonna win. I said, why not? What you talking about? He like, they ain't gonna give it to you. I said, oh, is that right? So, you know, that's how boxing work. It's sad to say, you know, that's how boxing work. I'm not like totally upset. I figured with a superstar, you won't get too much on paper. But I damn sure thought I had it. Especially when they announced the score for him. I was like, oh, they gonna give me a split decision win. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, oh here it go. But as soon as I heard that 114, I was just like, damn, all right, it's over with. So yeah, man, it's just crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Like it's okay. We gonna run it back.
Jake might be fearless, but Tank is forged from pressure, pain, and pure punishment. And come November, the world will see just how dangerous that can be.
It was a good night for the sport. Didn't get what the decision I want, but we didn't get the loss either. So I felt like I won it the last couple rounds. So it's cool. Lamont is a great fighter. Hopefully I can get that rematch because I know what I can do in a fight.
When is Gervonta Davis going to go somewhere in the pound for pound? Anui deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. Do Terrence Crawford deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. But what about Gervonta Tank Davis? I mean, he deserved to be somewhere also in the pound for pound.
Why don't they give him that credit?
Because he was affiliated with me.
Tank Davis, he was a young kid, came up to me when he was a kid.
wanted an autograph. I signed his phone for him and told him, "You'll be world champion someday, and I'll be your promoter." Years later, he was working with some people from our team because our team is huge. We got guys in DC, Baltimore, Philly, New York, all around. He won a few fights. I think he was like 8 or 9-0. I told him, in under 24 months, you'll be world champion. Made the right moves, put him in the right position. He's a multi-millionaire now.
Absolutely.
He was a kid that couldn't even buy a bus ticket. Now he's a multi-millionaire.
Jake might be fearless, but Tank is a fighter carved out of pain, pressure, and punishment.
Tank Davis.
Bad dude. See, what I like about Tank is Tank brings something different. You know, back in the days, everybody had something. Muhammad Ali was a mover boxer. George was a puncher. Ernest Shavers was a puncher. Everybody had something they brought to the table. Larry Holmes had a jab. Mike Weaver had overhand right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has something. That division now is full, and Tank having to be the knockout guy of the division. He the one with the main knockout power. Garcia has it too, but Tank got that real knockout power that, like, if Tank hit one of them clean, usually they gonna have a problem. So it's like, I like Tank. Every now and then, I think when he knows he can beat somebody, he probably don't lock in as hard, but I think when they bring challenges, he locks in.
Yeah, he fights to the level of his competition. He was doing that a lot.
And he got to be careful of that.
2 fights ago, he was really doing that.
You feel me? So you got to be careful of that, because if you come in and think somebody is not at your level and you underestimate them, it can get you beat. So that's the only thing I think you got to be careful of. Other than that, Tank is